Hey, it's JT here. This video is about in early sobriety and in continued sobriety, keeping a journal and learning how to look at what you wrote uh, in a present state of mind and in a clear state of mind. It's, for me and people that I know in meetings and groups, it really helps to keep a journal. You can call it a diary if you want. You don't have to, because a lot of people might think that's weak to call it a diary or to have feelings of tears, whatever. It's fine to do that, but a journal is really important. It can really help you. Um, Number one, it helps you sort through the stuff in your head that you don't know how to think about, that you are thinking about, that you're confused. It helps you sort through anger. Um, you can, I've done it many times, you can timeline your day out in your journal and say, this is, basic things. Wake up, take a shower, brush your teeth, go fill up your gas tank, go for a bike ride, call this person, call that person, pet your dog or your cat. It really, seeing what you wrote and what you think reinforces a positive action. And I noticed for me it really helps. It creates a good sober reference for you to look back at, saying, oh, this is what I wrote about, this is what I planned to do for that day, and I got it done, and it wasn't that difficult. Or looking at old emotions that you wrote in there, saying, this is where I came from, and this is where I'm at now, and if you have someone that would be willing to unbiasedly read it through, ideally it would be maybe a therapist, which I have. He reads through entries and notices patterns and cycles that I don't, of my thinking, and that's helpful. Because you're not always the best judge of what you wrote, you know. But don't dwell on what you wrote in the past. It's really important to not get down on yourself for having these thoughts and emotions. It's important not to look back and in a good light in certain things, and say, I wish I was back there. You can't change the past. And that's good in every way, because you can move past whatever the negativity might have been. And a lot of emotions are going to repeat, so it might come back to you. Just be patient with those emotions. You can't change the past. You can look back on it and either go with how you were thinking and acting, or change from that. I always hear and I always tell people to look at the past and what you wrote and what you went through, like it's a closet, a closet with a glass door on it. And you can look at that stuff in the closet, but don't go into it rummaging out, trying to sort it out. You can't sort the past out too well. You can look at it and learn from it and have a reference in sobriety and say, this is what someone else did that made me resent them. This is what I did wrong in my using, in my recovery. How can I change that? This is what made me happy. So let's find something positive that makes me happy that relates to that action. And a big thing in your journal is, along the lines of don't dwell on what you wrote, is don't look at past journal entries that are less than positive and justify them and use them to procrastinate your recovery, or to justify drinking or using. It's dangerous to get into that mindset of snowballing what you might have been thinking back then and use it as evidence for today's actions, that could lead to a major downfall. So keep a journal. Have someone that you trust to go through it with you, to share their thoughts, ideally someone that might be in recovery. It could be a great fourth step, involvement in that whole aspect, and learn from what you wrote and learn how to either stay in the mindset or change it. It's all at your fingertips. So it's all up here, and you can do what you wish with it. So be healthy.